Welcome back for another video. In this video we look at the top players for predicted points in Gameweek 17 and over the next 5 game weeks. This is an important one as we will rebuild our teams from scratch and therefore all the tables are sorted by projections over the next 5. There's lots of FPL content to come ahead of the restart, so hit subscribe so you don't miss out. Starting off with the goalkeepers then, and it's Ederson who tops the projections with 23.5 over the next 5 game weeks. Some players' projections will be boosted by their upcoming double game weeks, which does include Ederson, who has a double game week scheduled in 20, albeit not a great double game week against Man United and Spurs. Regarding the Man City and Tottenham double game week 20, it is worth reminding that if either side draw their FA Cup fixture, which is midweek right before game week 20, then the double game week 20 fixture will become a single game week, and they'll need to play the second leg of the FA Cup that week instead. Kepa, however, has a locked-in double game week which comes in game week 19, the first double game week of the season. If you're not familiar with the double game weeks, there's plenty to come this season where teams play twice in one game week and you score the points from both games. Whether Kepa or Mendy assumes the number 1 goalkeeper spot is a question mark. Kepa came in unimpressed under Potter before the break, though he missed the last couple of games with an injury and then Mendy came back in. Kepa is perhaps more suited to Potter's style of football, good with his feet. For £4.5 million, it could be an absolute bargain. Leno has 20.1 projected points, not far behind Kepa, however his double game week is also in 19, which makes him a redundant pick if you opt for Kepa. In other words, there's no point in having both. Beyond the next 5, Arsenal and Man City do also have a double game week in 23, which isn't factored into Ramsdale or Ederson's projections as we're looking at 7 game weeks away there, though it's worth mentioning. Pope is the top scoring goalkeeper in the game currently with 70 points. Newcastle's defence has been outstanding and a decision will need to be made whether to keep Pope or shift him on for a double game weeker. Ward was actually the top scoring goalkeeper in the 5 game weeks before the break and he's projected 17.4 over the next 5. Let me know how your goalkeepers are looking in the comments. Moving on to the defenders, and Cancelo tops the projections with 22.5 over the next 5. 1 goal and 11 assists last season, 2 goals and 2 assists so far this season. He's not quite kept pace with last season's attacking output, but City are the best in the league for expected goals conceded, so you need at least one defensive asset from City. Alexander-Arnold hasn't got going either. There are many players like Trent who were uninvolved at the World Cup and perhaps come back with a point to prove. James was unfortunate to miss out entirely due to injury. He has been spotted back in training sessions and 5.8 mil could be a bargain. He's always been an explosive asset. He can score a bunch of 1-pointers and then follow up with a 15-pointer. One to strongly consider with Chelsea's double game week in mind. The Man United defenders deserve a mention. They do miss out on the projections over the next 5, but they are among the top for Gameweek 17 where they play home to Forest. Shaw and Dalot have 4.5 projected points for that fixture. Dalot's been quite a popular pick, but reportedly has a hamstring injury and hasn't been in training, so swerving the Man United defence entirely might be more sensible, considering it's also unclear whether Varane and Martinez are back in time from the World Cup. The Arsenal defenders miss out, but Gabriel's actually projected 17.3 alongside Van Dijk. He's top among the Arsenal defenders for XG this season, and Saliba is 1 yellow away from suspension, so Gabriel's a great pick, as is White for 0.5 mil cheaper, only 4.7 mil. Robertson's another player who didn't travel to the World Cup, with Scotland having not qualified, so he'll be well rested. Their first game back is away to Aston Villa. If this video has been useful so far, please drop it a like and subscribe for more content to come to give you an edge. Onto the midfielders, and Salah tops the projections with 31.3 over the next 5, 6.6 points for Gameweek 17. On the subject of Aston Villa, there is a chance that Martinez misses the first game for Villa while celebrating the World Cup win back in Argentina. This would add to the appeal to the likes of Salah and Darwin, with backup keeper Olsen likely coming in. De Bruyne or Salah is one of the biggest calls for the restart. De Bruyne has the potential double game week 20 and the locked in double game week 23, which is one factor to consider. There is of course also the option to start with Salah and then move to De Bruyne later on. The two are about even on price as well. Man City are away to Leeds for game week 17. On the final 5 game weeks before the break, Salah was top in the league for expected goal involvement with 4.34 XGI, so there was an uptick in his form and he too will be well rested and raring to get going again. Over the season, Salah has 9.36 expected goal involvement to De Bruyne's 9.31, so again there's little in it. Son has disappointed so far this season with just 3 goals and 2 assists in total, and of course all those 3 goals came in one game back in Game Week 8. He's got 25.7 points projected over the next 5. They do have the potential double Game Week 20 as well, but 11.6 mil is a lot to pay. With Richarlison out injured, Kulusevski could emerge as one to strongly consider in his absence. Mount's in the same boat as Son as an FPL asset, just hasn't got going. But again, he's got the double game week, and before that Chelsea faced Bournemouth at home and then Forest away. A decent enough fixture pairing, so he is a good punt for 3 or 4 game weeks. Chelsea played a friendly against Brentford behind closed doors midweek, which was a 5-1 win, but it must be noted that Mount reportedly wasn't involved due to a minor injury, so this is something to keep an eye on, particularly in Potter's press conference. Havertz actually scored a hat-trick in the win, but classified as a forward is a tough one to find room to justify. Whether to keep or sell Martinelli is a tough call, particularly if you've had him since the start of the season, with lots of money tied up in him. Incredible value, and further afield they do have the double game week in 23. Jesus is out injured for Arsenal for potentially a couple of months, so the question is what impact will that have on the Arsenal attack? Almiron misses out on the projections with 16 projected points over the next 5, but he deserves a mention with the breathtaking season he's had so far, 93 points from 8 goals and 2 assists. Only 5.8 mil and 36% owned as it stands, which will no doubt creep up as we approach the deadline. Bruno's projected 21.1 points and he narrowly misses out, Rashford 18.5 points and Antony 16.8. They all deserve mention with Man United facing Forest, Wolves and then Bournemouth in the next 3. Forest will also be without Dean Henderson in goal because he's on loan from Man United. Onto the forwards, and Haaland's clear of 36.5 points over the next 5. Not much worth adding when discussing our Gameweek17 teams, but as a recap, 18 goals and 3 assists in 13 games so far this season, and he's had 5 weeks off waiting to get going again. A massive risk to go without him. Kane's a big talking point though. He's been incredible this season, 12 goals, 3 assists, and only Haaland has more than his 102 points among forwards. Add to that he has the potential double game week 20, but the question is what impact will the World Cup have had on him? Very unfortunate circumstances as England dropped out in part due to his missed penalty. It could be one that plays on his mind a bit. In the absence of Diaz and Jota who are injured, Darwin Núñez looks like a great pick for 9 mil. He's a notch below premium, so he's easy enough to fit in alongside Haaland and one other premium. Mitrovic is a popular pick with Palace and Leeds next, and then a double game week 20 against Leicester and Chelsea. 9 goals this season on penalty duties and 6.8 mil. We talked about Man United's fixtures, and Martial could also be an excellent pick in the post-Ronaldo era. If fit, he'll lead the line, but injuries have been a problem for him this season. Tony's one to certainly avoid, with further news this week that the FA's charged him with 30 further betting breaches. He could still play, but could end up with a lengthy ban at some point. Nketiah misses out as his predicted minutes are currently low. However, if we set his expected minutes at about 75 per game, then he's projected 20.4 points over the next 5, which is worth a mention for only 6.5 mil. It's certainly a punt though, and 0.3 more extra buys you Mitrovic, who is having a good season already and he has a double game week. So that wraps up the video. Hit subscribe if it was useful, lots more content to come, and please remember to like the video if you enjoy them. See you soon for the next one.